It's another lovely day, and you're right here tuned to the podcast Truth to Power, the podcast where we x-ray happenings in and around Nigeria and, of course, the world. And most especially, we focus on persecuted minority communities and their plight in Nigeria. In recent times, there have been an increased rate of attack on communities in the middle belt of Nigeria, where indigenous people have been killed, massacred, or chased away from their ancestral homeland. And in most cases, we record scores of people killed and, of course, properties burnt and others looted. On the program today, we want to once again look at these issues and how the recent increase in this rate of attack is impacting on the nation and generally what and how we can get out of this. Today, I have a gentleman with me. He's a comrade and, of course, a lecturer in the Department of Philosophy at the University of Abuja in the person of Dr. Peter Edeh. Doctor, you're welcome to Truth to Power.
Thank you very much, Ehis. Thank you, viewers.
All right.
And listeners alike.
We'll go straight to talking about these issues today. In the past, in the week of the Christmas Eve 2023 in Nigeria, some communities in Plateau State and some in Taraba State witnessed an increased rate of attack by persons that some claim to be unknown, while community or indigenous people said they are Fulani headsmen. We have not been able to authenticate if indeed they are headsmen, but from the information that we are getting from communities that were attacked, they claim that this person that attacked them are Fulani headsmen. Now, looking at this, because it's becoming a recurring decimal, every Yuletide, right from the past 7 or 8 years, it has always been almost same stories. Communities in middle belt of Nigeria attacked. And in the past, there has been proven evidence that these attacks were carried out by Islamic jihadists. Some people call them Fulani jihadists. Some people call them Fulani terrorists. Some people just call them headsmen. Whatever the name we call them, there has been attack by some people that are alien to indigenous people with the sole aim of killing, maiming, looting, and of course, destroying their properties and dissipating or chasing them away from the land. Now, Doctor, how does this resonate with you, and what do you think is the cause of all of this? Because it's becoming the recurring decimal.
Thank you very much, Ehis. Once again, I say hello to Nigerians. It is worrisome. It is very worrisome to have this issue, and like you rightly pointed out, looking at it from a recurring decimal. And if my knowledge of logic or mathematics will take me anywhere too near or far, I think this kind of recurring decimal is a deliberate neglect of what should be done that is left undone. And one will look at who left what undone, and that is the part of government and those who own the security of a nation. Worrisome again is the fact that for a nation to be, and you feel there are invaders in your land and you do nothing about it, it means that that nation is not in existence. It is just there. If we have a nation, then we should be worried about a soul, one life. One life. If you take the life of any nation. Now, if you look at it practically, using the same incident to roll it up, these people who are said to be having communal clashes at one point or the other, it escalates at the death of one person. At any time you have an issue that one person dies of any community, you see a reprisal attack from that community on whoever has caused that death. That is a natural inclination that a state is supposed to have over her citizens. And we have a great country that should provide that kind of mindset on people. That should make the people to believe in them, that should make the people to love the country itself. And we're not having it. And so, I will not blame the headsmen, the so-called headsmen. I don't see it in the so-called headsmen. I will blame it on our leaders. I will blame it on both religious leaders, whatever leader at any level. I blame it on the state, the immediate state, and the Nigerian state at large. I blame it on the security leaders. You see, when it comes to security, security is not all about carrying arms and wearing fearful masks around and terrorizing innocent citizens, blocking roads. That is no security. In today's world, I can tell you, with the use of artificial intelligence, for which I am a specialty in it, you can check securities without blocking our roads, without, terrorizing Nigerian citizens. The fellows that went in to do these things, you can reach out to them wherever they are with the use of artificial intelligence. And so if the world has gotten to this level, and then we still have people who are still living in the past, then there is a problem. Now, looking at what happened in Bokos.
Yeah, Bokos.
I have my relatives, they are there. In fact, my younger sister is married there in Plateau State. She's living there with her husband. I called them immediately. And all they told me, they don't know. That is just the usual thing. The people who come and kill and go. How can people just come and kill and go without anybody asking questions, without anybody carrying full conclusion? We have very intelligent people in this country. Plateau State, as it stands today, is said to have, had the Deputy Commissioner of Police move to the place. You are moving the Deputy Commissioner of Police to a place after the whole thing has happened. What will you get from that place? What will you get? Is that investigation? That is no investigation.
So our security.
How do you investigate crimes like that?
So our security forces.
That is genocide. Of course. You cannot tell me that 12 villages invaded, and the police, the soldiers, the civil defense, the vigilantes, and all that, all networks, Air Force is there in Plateau State. So what are we talking about? A cry from one village should have raised an alarm for another. For me, it's a misnomer when it comes to security. It's a misnomer. Secondly, I want to feel that the issue of security in the country has been taken for granted. And that makes security security. Today, we do not need those heavy gadgets in order to check these things. If government wants to do the right thing, they know what to do. So I blame it on our government for allowing this to happen. And any governor whatsoever that allows crisis in his state, that governor is sleeping.
All right, coming to you now. Looking at all that has happened, many people said it is ethnic cleansing. Some say it is religious cleansing. From your understanding of all of this, which one does it look like? Is it any of them, or what exactly is happening in the middle belt of Nigeria? Because these issues are not only in Plateau State, it's happening in Benue State, in Taraba State, and even southern part of Kaduna. These attacks, do you categorize it as religious or ethnic or economic, or what exactly do you see this as an artificial intelligence expert that you are?
I stand to disabuse our mind from looking at this issue from the angle of religious religious inclination. No, it is wrong for us to think in that dimension. It is for us to carry out investigations of who carried out this act. Has anybody owned up to it? Nobody has owned up to it. And then when the media starts, dancing towards one point or the other, we now start naming it as a religious war or religious crisis. And if it is a religious crisis, how did it start? Every religious crisis has a particular start. Who said what or who did what to which religion? And at this point, why do we want to do everything and talk about religion? We are killing ourselves and talking about religion. We are talking about one God and talking about religion. And I want to ask, is God or Allah, is he a Muslim or a Christian? God is God for everyone. Yeah. The Buddhists are there. The Hindus are there. They all recognize God. So is God a Muslim? Is God a Christian? Is God a Buddhist? Is God a Hindu? Is God a traditional person?
Okay. All right.
And so I still blame it on government, even if it has to do with religious inclination. If it has any religious undertone, the government still owns the state. The crime is against the state. The crime is against humanity. And it is government that has all it takes to, bring whoever it is to book. Where did they come from? Taraba and Plateau states are almost within the center. And it will not take, I repeat, it will not take 24 hours to rally around and find out where these persons who have carried out this dastard act have done that. Like in the past, where they said they took away 200 children from Chibok.
Yeah.
Were they rats? Even if they were rats, if you put 200 rats together and are taking them away, even a dog will bark on the road, seeing you going with them. So when the crisis is going on around 12 villages, you mean the security people are sleeping? The governor is sleeping? You mean the governor was sleeping at that time? They're carrying out this attack?
No.
There is no crime within 24 hours that the presidency does not know.
No.
There is no crime within 24 hours that the presidency does not know.
Doctor, let me put it from this angle now. Now, severally you have talked about the governors of the state. Even in Nigeria, the governor is just a chief executive of a state by mouth. He cannot even control a constable, talk less of a private. Now, let's look at this whole thing.
Sorry, come with that again. I didn't get you.
All right.
Who cannot control a corporal? I don't get you.
A governor cannot. The police takes instruction from their commissioner, who takes instruction from the IG, who takes instruction from the president. Same it comes to the military, they take their instruction from the presidency. Now, do you think with this there's a need to rejig our security architecture? One, then secondly, what do you think is the solution to this recurring killings that's been going haywire in Nigeria?
Permit me to debunk the seeming idea that a governor has no control of even a corporal of either the police, soldier, or whatsoever in a state. Why? Because in every given state, the governor is the chief security officer, whether it is on paper or whatsoever. It is following the rules of engagement. If the governor follows the rule of engagement, he will definitely give the right directives, and those right directives will be taken. Now, in a state where there is crisis, it takes the governor between an hour to summon the security chiefs within the state. He does not need to act on them separately. If he invites them, they will come. There is crisis. What do you have to say about it? They will give advices. They will call the network they need to call. They will call Abuja. Each one will call his own headquarters to know if they have hands in those things. We are in a digital world. And now that we are in a digital world, we should also apply this digital system. And that is why, if, for instance, Ehis committed a crime anywhere and it has been entered, the moment you press Ehis anywhere, there will be a reportage about him. Yeah. And you can come.
Finally, because we have 3 minutes to wrap up
this crime
now. We have 3 minutes to wrap up.
Let us not live in...
What will be your final advice? We have 3 minutes to wrap up.
Good. Let's not live in the oblivion of the fact that the governor has no control over the security in the state. The governor remains the chief security by our laws. The governor remains the chief security officer in the state. And all the security networks are supposed to work with him. They are not to see it as him giving them command. No, that is not it. They are not there to show who is stronger.
We need to wrap up now. We need to wrap up
now.
In one sentence, your advice.
My advice to the government of Plateau State is that someone should call a spade a spade. There should be enough of the bloodshed in Plateau State. Enough is enough of the bloodshed anywhere in the country. We should love our country. We should love ourselves. We should, come up to defend the country. And all this will rest. We are struggling over very little resources. It's not that we don't have these resources, but we have been made to think that there is scarcity of these resources. I would have taken, if the time would have taken me, I would have taken this to a different level, another way of stopping insecurity in the country. But
what we'll do is that the government next edition of the program, you will have time to expand.
Finally, I would say I sympathize with the souls that we have lost. I pray God to grant them eternal rest, and I also pray that this bastard act should come to stop. I grew up as a child loving the Muslims. I grew up as a child, being a Christian and all that. I never saw the Islam to be something that was against me as a Christian. If Islam is a religion of peace, then we should be able to coexist as Christians and Muslims. There is no difference. What is there is ideological differences and the semantics they use to confuse people and all that. God is one. God is one. Whether you call it Allah, you call it Ohé, you call it Olong, whatsoever you call it Chineke, God remains one, and he is neither a Muslim or a Christian. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Peter Edeh, a lecturer in the Department of Philosophy at the University of Abuja. He used to be a comrade. I don't know whether Doctor is still a comrade now.
Of course, once a comrade, always a comrade. So
all right.
You can rightly address me as Comrade Dr. Peter Edeh.
Peter Edeh.
Good.
Thank you so very much.
Yes.
And to every other person, we sincerely appreciate you, most especially to the folks at Truth Nigeria. And they actually supported this program, and we appreciate what they are doing in respect of this podcast, Truth to Power. Truth to Power is a podcast where we give voice to the voiceless, minority persecuted communities in Nigeria. Until next time, I'll be on again. I've been speaking with Dr. Peter Edeh, a lecturer at the Department of Philosophy and Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory, University of Abuja. Until next time, do have a pleasant time. Truth to Power comes up live at 7 p.m. on Tuesdays and on Thursdays on Procyon Radio. Do also make our time to join us, and remember to always watch all the podcasts on the Truth to Power podcast YouTube channel. Let's see some other time. Do have a pleasant day.